Welcome, the War Chief of Light is back with another epic video. Hi, my name is Peepy, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peeps. Today we are diving into a theory I have about our boy, Emet Selch, and how his character goes even deeper than we think. Right? Just so you know, we're going to start this out with our big ol' spoiler warning. We are talking Shadowbringers, and we are talking Endwalker 6.4 Pandemonium. So now that you know what's going on, let's talk about the greatest villain of all time, Emet Selch. I even have a sticker of him and a keychain that matches this. I love Emet, okay? Big fan. Quick recap about Emet Selch. He is a man of the convocation. Hades is his given name. And he has a strong belief of order, of systems, and of people. He believed that his people was the pinnacle of all races. They were immortal, they were just, they were moral, and that the sacrifice for Zodiac was the correct move. And that rejoining the shards, regardless of the price, was worth it to regain his people. Something that wasn't mentioned directly, but is to me obvious as all sin, is how much he also had a love for his people, but most of all for Hythlodaeus. Romantic or not, that's on you. But he loved Hythlodaeus, no doubt, in my mind. And we knew that in Shadowbringers. Emet showed how much he loved his people, and how much he loved everything about it, with Amuro. Amuro is our pinnacle. It is the statue. This is my legacy, is these people. A beautiful metropolis city filled with shades. Which, once we went through Endwalker, we realized, yes, the people of the ancients wore masks all the time, so having shades made sense. What was interesting about the shades is there was one sentient, had his own way of thinking, his own character. Why did that one be different? Yes, you can look into it even deeper and say he had a little bit of a soul, but the reality is Emet made him that way. That's Hythlo. He did that because he missed him deeply. Now, Amuro is Emet Selch's memory of Amuro. So the Amuro we visit, that we go do quests in, is his memory of the city. Okay? And the city that he knows is a vision of his depression, of his despair. Fits the Endwalker theme, but again, this is back in Shadowbringers. And you can really tell that a couple of ways. One, the monotonous tone that everybody has. Everyone's just a shade. There's no individuality. How much busy work is involved. How much administrative bullshit. How much nothing of substance is in Amuro but the convocation. And the big giveaway is the color palette. Blues, grays, blacks, little beacons of light, but not a whole lot. The only time we see that is in the inside of the buildings. But when we see Emet, most of the time he's outside. He's walking the streets. And honestly, that's where we see what he is thinking and what Amuro means to him. While it is obviously a memory, a loving memory, you can see how sad of a memory it is. It's also not factual. That's not what Amuro looked like. Stick with me. We're getting there. 6.4 Pandemonium. We fight Elidibus. Elidibus, that's the funnest name to say. You're not gonna win that one. Too bad. Either way, we are fighting Elidibus in his form. Not the Warrior of Light like in Shadowbringers. We are fighting Elidibus. Where are we fighting him? I believe we are fighting him in the room of the convocation. We see the seats around. We have this beautifully decorated room. It's incredible. Honestly, breathtaking. You're going to have some clips and stuff of that video in here, but it is incredibly beautiful. But look through the windows of Amuro. What do you see? The same structures. Listen, the buildings themselves, they don't change. They're built the same way. The very iconic looks of the buildings. But what is different is the color palette. Orange, reds, yellows, gold, some pinks. It is vibrant. It is moving. We are in Elidibus's memories. And, I'm going to stop you right there. This is Elidibus's memories before he became Zodiark. So before everything went to shit, this is what we got. So Elidibus's memories are what he remembers. Now, is this a rose-tinted view? Maybe. Maybe Elidibus loves Amuro, thinks of it as this place that he's the most comfortable, that he's the happiest, and maybe there is some of that in the palette. But I would bet that it is more factual than Emet Selch, who's had thousands of years to wallow in it, to miss it. And now, what Amuro has become for him is no longer that bright beacon of society, but a land once loved, now lost. The Amuro in Shadowbringers is factual to an extent. I honestly believe that it is nothing but the sad, despaired version of Amuro that comes from Emet Selch. And honestly, that brings Emet Selch even deeper, right? It brings back that notion of how much this means to him, how much his people meant to him, and what state of mind he was in when we finally fought him. I don't think Emet Selch needed more depth. Okay, he didn't. To me, again, best villain ever made, period, end point. But these little things like this, and I don't care if they did it on purpose, is incredible, and it really brings the story to life. It really shows that stark contrast. And I really hope that you guys got to enjoy it. Or, you know what? Fuck it. You guys were in the party and was like, ooh, pretty. That's cool too. Either way, let me know what your first reaction to that fight was. Other than get your ass beaten by Elidibus. Listen, we all got our asses beaten by Elidibus, let's be honest. If you like getting nerdy, talking about lore and stuff, talking about Emet Selch, you'll always be great here. Either way, there's tons of videos on this channel. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. We also stream a lot. Listen, there's always something going on here, so definitely join in on the fun. In the meantime, though, have a legendary night. Thanks so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye. Name a better villain. I'll wait.